They died and came back. Real near-death experiences. What happens after we die? Is it simply the end? Or is there something waiting just beyond what we can see? For some people, this question isn't a mystery because they've already experienced it. They've been declared clinically dead, and somehow they came back. What they describe is something that continues to challenge science, belief, and our understanding of reality itself. These are real stories from real people who crossed the line between life and death. Case 1. Eben Alexander. In 2008, neurosurgeon Eben Alexander fell into a rare and severe form of bacterial meningitis. His condition was critical. Doctors say his brain activity dropped to levels where conscious experience should have been impossible. For 7 days, he was in a coma. But according to Alexander, he wasn't gone. He later described finding himself in complete darkness at first. No body, no memory of who he was, just awareness. Then something changed. He said he was suddenly moving, as if being carried upward. What came next is what made his story so widely known. Alexander claimed he entered a place filled with light, vibrant colors, and an overwhelming sense of peace. He described landscapes that didn't feel like Earth, and then he said he became aware of a presence beside him. A woman. He didn't know who she was at the time, but she communicated something to him without speaking. You are loved. You are safe. You have nothing to fear. Years later, Alexander claimed he discovered something unsettling. The woman he described resembled a sister he had never met, who had died before he ever knew she existed. When he woke up, doctors called it a miracle, but Alexander walked away, believing something else entirely. That consciousness doesn't end when the body does. Case 2. Anita Moorjani. In 2006, Anita Moorjani was dying from advanced lymphoma. Her body had begun shutting down. Organs were failing. Doctors told her family the end was near. She slipped into a coma, but Anita later said she was more aware than ever. She described leaving her body and observing everything happening around her. Hospital staff, her family, conversations happening outside the room. She even claimed she could hear her brother speaking from a distance where she physically shouldn't have been able to. But what came next changed her life forever. She described entering a state of complete clarity, no pain, no fear, just understanding. She said she suddenly understood her entire life, her choices, her emotions, even her illness, in a way she never had before. And then she felt a choice. She could stay or go back, but she was told something that shook her. If she returned, her body would heal. At the time, her condition was considered irreversible, but Anita made the decision to come back, and what happened next stunned her doctors. Within weeks, her body began recovering. Tumors shrank, her strength returned, and eventually, she made a full recovery. To this day, her case is considered medically extraordinary, and she maintains what she experienced was real. Case 3. Colton Burpo. In 2003, a young boy named Colton Burpo underwent emergency surgery after a ruptured appendix. During the operation, complications arose. Years later, Colton began telling his parents things they couldn't explain. He said he had left his body. He described watching the doctors operate on him. He described where his parents were and what they were doing during the surgery. details he should not have known. At first, his parents were skeptical, but the more he spoke, the more unsettling the details became. Colton said he had gone somewhere else. He described a place filled with light. He said he met people there, including family members who had died before he was born. One of the most disturbing moments came when he described meeting a sister. His parents were confused. They had never told him about a miscarriage they had experienced before he was born. But Colton described her and said she told him she was waiting. His story later became widely known because of one question that still lingers. How could a child describe something he was never told? The patterns. What makes these cases so unsettling isn't just the experiences themselves, it's how similar they are. Different people, different ages, different beliefs, and yet they describe leaving their bodies, observing real events, entering another place, encountering beings or loved ones, being told it's not their time. Some even describe being given a choice to stay or return. The unanswered question. Science has attempted to explain near-death experiences. Some researchers suggest the brain releases chemicals in extreme stress. Others believe it's a form of hallucination created in the final moments before death. But there's one problem. How do people report accurate details? From moments when they were clinically unconscious, how do they see, hear, and remember when their brain activity suggests they shouldn't be able to? So what really happens when we die? Is it all just the brain trying to make sense of the end? Or is it possible that these people didn't imagine anything at all? That they went somewhere, saw something, experienced something that we don't yet understand? Because if even one of these stories is true, then death may not be the end. And if that's the case, then one question remains. What's waiting for the rest of us when it finally is our time?